Hi, it's Marieta, founder of ImmigrationBiz and business immigration attorney. In today's video, I'm going to talk about EB5 visa alternatives. So, if you are not familiar with EB5, you probably need to watch my video where I discuss what is EB5. In general, EB5 is actually a visa, in other words, a green card through investment. The minimum investment you have to invest is $500,000 or $1 million, depending if this is direct or indirect investment. Now, what if you don't have the money? Is there any alternative to EB5? The question is yes and no. First, I'm going to tell you why is it not necessarily alternative or quasi-alternative, and then I'm going to tell you what is the actual alternative in my opinion. So, there is this thing called E2 visa. E2 visa is actually visa for investors, very similar to EB5 investors. However, you can invest substantial amount of capital that is below $500,000. Now, what is the difference between EB5 and E2 is not just the money, it's not just the investment, but it's also the fact that E2 is non-immigrant visa category and EB5 is actually immigrant visa category, in other words, permanent residency. So if you get E2, depending where you're coming from, you can stay in the US up to 2 years, or you can extend it, and you can extend it indefinitely, or you are limited. Now, most of the countries give you E2 visas, but it's very limited how long you can actually get the visa stamp for, right? So for example, if you are coming from Czech Republic or maybe Australia, you're going to get the stamp for 4 or 5 years. It doesn't mean you can stay in the country 4 or 5 years. It just means the maximum length of one stay is up to 2 years. And therefore, if you are there longer than 2 years, you are technically out of status. But before the expiration of 2 years, you can leave the country and then re-enter while you still have a valid visa stamp. So this is just a visa. However, you can pretty much do everything. You live almost like a resident. The only difference is that you have to have a valid visa stamp and you have to have a valid legal stay. And the legal stay is determined by the I-940 card. So, if the card is expiring, what you're going to do, you're going to leave the country and re-enter back if you have a valid visa. If you don't have a valid visa, you need to actually go and either extend your stay within the United States at the USCIS, or you need to fly back home at the US Embassy and they will give you another visa stamp. Now, you can, in most of the countries, you can actually extend it, and there's unlimited times how you can extend this visa stamp. But there are certain countries that have limits. And it really depends on the treaty that your country signed with the United States. However, when you think about it, E2 visa is actually easier for entrepreneurs who don't have $500,000 of capital ready, and therefore you can easily get the E2 visa and later you can upgrade it to a green card, because there are several ways. And so actually I've done a video and you can check that video how you can go from E2 to a green card if you like. Now, on the other hand, EB5 is actually a permanent residency, right? And because of that, once you obtain a green card, you become a resident. However, you need to invest a higher amount of capital, so it's not just $200,000 or $300,000, or in some cases $50,000, right? Because there are E2 cases with $50,000, and you would be actually surprised. There are some cases with even less than that, around like $30,000, which is a very, very, very small number these days. So it's a better way to actually get the foot in the door. In other words, move to the United States relatively fast compared to EB5, because with EB5, you know, there is the backlog, which is for some countries like Chinese or Indian, you know, it's a very long time, processing time. It might take a couple of years for them to get a green card. So if you are from a treaty country, what does it mean? That not everyone can apply for E2. Only the people from treaty countries can apply for E2. And so if you are from a treaty country, you can certainly apply for E2 if you have less than $500,000. In fact, based on my experience, if you have 100,000, then you can certainly apply. Now, what if you have no money? What if you don't have any funds? Well, that's not gonna stop you guys. I do have actual video that I just did recently where I talk about what to do if you have no money. How can you start and get E2 visa with no money? And I do recommend to watch that video because that video will explain that nothing is impossible. Even if you don't have the money, you can still make it happen. So make sure to watch that video. Now, if you want to move forward with this E2 visa or EB5, then I highly recommend to sign up for my free training, and I'm actually going to post the link below this video. It's a free training where I'm going to dig deeper. What do you need if you want to get these visas? What do you need if you want to start a business in the United States, and what steps to take? What to do if you don't have the funds? How to obtain the funds, etc. So make sure to sign up for the training below this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, make sure to leave them below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day.